Hello again folks and welcome back to Let's Play Godslayer. I'm your host the Gamer Darius, and for this particular episode, we're not God slaying. Instead, we are mushroom killing. Same difference really, right? Right. So how's your guys' day going? Good? Good. I hope so. So, presuming that the amount of experience is as it is, I'm going to need to kill roughly 40 more of these guys, I want to say. But again, I've never been one to complain about grinding, but for the sake of Let's Plays and whatnot, I've been really avoiding games that make it so as I have to do so. One of the reasons why, when it came to 7th Saga, which I really need to get back into, that I had went with a modded version, I guess is the best way to put it, that puts it as close to the Japanese as possible. Because, I mean, I realized that there was no way that people were going to want to sit there and watch me grind out for a few levels just in order to take out the very first boss, who himself is kind of tough. But I like to take out that first boss without the whistle in order to, you know, kind of a self-achievement, you know? Like, yeah, I didn't need no little help item. Besides that, the whistle was just kind of felt like a crutch, as it were. Like, oh no, you got slain by the first boss. Promise, that was his name. But here's an item if you want to just kind of pass by him. And at that point, it's just like, nah, I could use the experience points, because if this is how the very first castle was, how do you think the rest of the game is going to be? And sure enough, you need to be like level 7 in order to beat Ramus, no matter what the character. And then you needed, like, I think level more or less 12 or 14 in order to beat Python the very first time. I don't know, that shit always blew my mind as a kid. It's like, why give me a handicap if the rest of the game is going to be a pain in the ass? Except I was a kid, so I never said ass. I think when I first beat it, I was like, God, how old was I when I first beat 7th Saga? 1995? 96? Crap, when was it released? I'd say 97, but 97 I was too engulfed in freaking Final Fantasy VII. Just played that for all eternity, you know? Damn it, now I'm trying to think of how old I was. I was at least like 12, though. I wasn't yet in my teenage years, but was definitely at a point where it had an impact on me as a kid. 1200 experience in order to level up from 6 to 7. Oh boy. Let me math that out really quick here. 1200 divided by 8. That's 150 enemies. Let's do this. I said that this was going to be a leveling up video. It's going to be a damned leveling up video. And unfortunately, with these guys providing the most experience at the time... Oh. And why not? That's going to throw off my math. In fact, because of him, I really don't know. He was insignificant. He had no real impact on the amount of experience points I need. Thanks, random boar man. You were a big help to absolutely no one. In fact, I think I'm at a net negative after killing him. Yeah, I'm at a negative of 3, so even then I still need to kill 150 of these mushroom guys. No, have they stopped spawning over here? Okay, no. I just haven't been going far enough away in order for them to spawn. There we go. It's all on how you realize how to do it. Like, if it's 3 mushrooms per run, I only need to do, like, 50 runs. Right? That's about right. Which isn't terrible in most respects. Most. See? I'm already a 10th of the way there. To be honest, this would be far worse with 7 Saga. I know that I keep on harping on the fact that 7 Saga would be harder, but it'd be far harder if I played the American release. And as much as I know that I would have fun, I don't know how much other people would have fun. Because I would still have to be grinding, but it would just be a choice whether or not I want to grind for the camera or I want to grind off the camera. Which, I don't know. It could be more entertaining to watch someone let's play the entirety, grinding and all of 7th Saga. It's just the way that it is with the modded version that I use is very much more streamlined. It very much more, I just have to keep playing the game and I'll be strong enough to take on the rest of the game itself. Bosses, apprentices. Maybe not apprentices. I'm thinking back onto my Esuna playthrough, and that was a terrible, terrible playthrough. Because I was like, yeah, I'll take on that apprentice and whatnot, and never did. Never succeeded. Note to self, if you ever want to go through the game killing each of the other apprentices at least once, you're gonna need to do it when they're low level. Because at high level, they have all of their cool spells, all of their stats way, way up high. It's at the point where it becomes nigh on impossible. They become their own, like, super secret bosses, essentially. Which isn't terrible. I have a lot of fun killing super secret bosses and whatnot. But at the same time, to face off against 7 of them, or 6. Ah. Don't know how I let that one get to me. Better refresh. Ha! There we go. Been thinking about who I would want to play the next time I run through 7th Saga, by the way. I think one of my next favorites that I would really like to play is Legis. Legis is, I don't know. Legis was the first one I actually beat 7th Saga with. And I think the next one after that was Olven. I think. I don't know. It might have been Camille. Which, by the way, there's a streamer that has reignited, more or less, my love of old Enix games. He has a fond affection for 7th Saga, much like I do. I am nowhere near as obsessive and knowledgeable of it, though. DiCeaser? I forget what he goes by on Twitter and whatnot, but that's pretty much... And he has more... I think he's completed runs of, like, every apprentice with every other apprentice, and solo apprentice runs that he just has on his... has up on his channel. Post me if you remember. Freaking put his Twitter handle in the video here, or put his link to his Twitter stuff or his website down below. He's just reignited my love of the game, and he plays through the entirety of them again and again and again and again. Using exploits and whatnot, fine, but I don't know. I just really love the game, and it's cool to see someone else out there in this world, wide, crazy world that has not only heard of the game, but shows the same sort of love. God, I really do gotta get back into 7 Saga. I say as I'm playing a NES game from my childhood. This is more or less, hey, Darius rants while killing mushrooms, because he hates mushrooms. And yeah, no, I don't like mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms on most anything. There's mushrooms on the thing, I will painstakingly take my sweet time doing nothing but picking them off. I don't know what it is about mushrooms. I just hate mushrooms. They don't taste very good to me. Their consistency isn't good. Kind of funky that the third video of this Let's Play is just me griping about random things and adoring other things. Ha! I don't think of any other childhood memories I really had with this, but unfortunately it's been so damned long since I played this, I really don't remember too much. Like, I think every single time that I tried to play it after a certain point, like after I had gotten through freaking Valley of Poison there, that I had just stopped playing because I didn't remember what to do or something? I don't know. But it's quite obvious what it is that you have to do. Car. Like, game pretty much tells you, okay, you can't go this way, go that other way, in order to find another very important plot object. And we already know from Tornal that he's going to go to a secret training grounds, and that once we find the Bracelet of the Wind, which is the third power-up object for the Wind, obviously, the Wind Sword, then we should try to find him. And his training ground happens to be in Mount Saber, so I mean that only just makes sense. I don't know why I decided, hey, I not play this game again. All the way through, that is. Kill those things. And really, I know that people will probably say, oh, it's because of the grinding. You don't like the grinding. Grinding is too much of an investment. No. I'm very much of the mind that I poured time to grind out these stats, to do the thing that I want to do. And what I want to do is play the game. And, you know, it's become a kind of point of catharticism for me. That's not even the word for it. I don't even care. It's become cathartic for me. I personally enjoy it. I find it relaxing. Like, even in games, even in other games, like Dragon Quest, or Dragon Warrior, if you want to count the Englishization of it, has become one of those games for me that I don't necessarily always play for the story, especially when it comes to Dragon Quest monsters. Like, those have got to have some of the weakest story in the entire series. But they become one of those games where it's just, I enjoy the grinding, I enjoy the raising of the monsters, I enjoy the fighting systems, I love the music, but sometimes I just play them because they're fun. I don't play them for the story. What was it? Shut up, phone. They're supposed only to be keeping time. I forget which one it is. It was a DS Dragon Quest, not one of the remakes, where you're able to essentially customize your entire party, and it's like Celestial something or other. Not Dragon Quest 9? I think it was 9. I could literally lean over right now and look at the title of the Dragon Quest game in question, but I am grinding. Anyways, and that one is one of my more favorites. With, I want to say that Game Boy Color Dragon Quest 3 is honestly one of my favorites, because it's another one of those, oh hey, you can make your party whatever you want it to be. And honestly, I just got I'd gotten lost doing random things in the world and trying to level up and whatnot. Kind of like this. 16, that's 200 people I have to kill. Alright. I'm already ranting, so why not? Hell not. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, I don't know, just one of those things. I enjoy the grind because it's relaxing. And once the grind is done, then I can complete my goal. But sometimes, like when it came to Dragon Quest III, I forget what my goal is. So, you know, it's just become one of those things. And it's like, oh hey, I forgot what my quest was. Game help. Oh man. I don't know, I definitely don't remember it taking this relatively little of time grinding up to this point. I say relatively so because, I mean, it feels like I've been grinding out longer. Heh. Feels like I've been grinding out longer than I should have been. Like, it does not feel like it's only been 15 minutes, 16 minutes or so. But it definitely does feel like I've been grinding for much longer than 15 minutes. If anything, though, definitely gives me pause for thought of other games I've been wanting to play and whatnot. Like, I'm having fun playing Crystalis again. Sorry, Godslayer. Godslayer is forever going to be a far more badass title for this game. Even if you really don't know what it is that the plot is when you start up the game. That's one of the, again, that's one of the differences between the, I think it was the difference between the Game Boy Color version and this version. Is this faster? If I were to just go up chopping the mushrooms like this, is this faster? Probably more deadly to me. But anyways, yeah, I think that was one of the good things about the Game Boy Color version is that the story is more clear-cut what has happened. In this version, it's more slowly given to you. I'm gonna need to look up the manual because it has been forever since I've seen the manual. I don't even remember if I used to have the manual for this game. God, do you guys remember when manuals were a thing? There's another game I've been wanting to play. I think I'll actually play it after I'm done playing Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. Called Rings of Power. It's this game that came out for the Sega Genesis, Master Drive, whatever. But the thing is that it was originally meant to be a Amiga or PC port, PC game, and it shows. But the way that they did it, the way that they had redone it, works, even if it is a little bit clunky. But I guess that's just kind of par for the course when it comes to certain Amiga games and whatnot. I don't know. I've never had an Amiga. I wasn't a PC gamer when I was a kid. I could barely afford games for the console, let alone PC. Let alone a PC. And when we finally did get a family computer, I pretty much hogged it all the time. Because, like, I was the only one that wanted to invest in learning how to use the damn thing. And then came the internet, and then it was just a complete sink of my time going into RPG forums and roleplay forums and different game-related stuff. The world was my oyster. But nowhere on that, in said oyster, did I find a pearl or anything. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Point is, I think the internet was a mistake. No. But yeah. And I had, at some point when I had decided, you know what, Rings of Power, I'm gonna make that into a Let's Play. Because there have been people that have covered it as a Let's Play. It's not like Dungeons and Dragons Tactics, where, as far as I know, there's a grand total of 2 people on the internet that have played through it, including yours truly. The other one being Siegfried Z. Post me links. And it's not like one of those games that no one has heard of. People have heard of it. It's got a legacy. It's from Naughty Dog, the same people who made, well, not necessarily the same people, but the same company who made the likes of Last of Us and Uncharted. So it's got something behind it, but I went back and went to look for a manual of it. And holy crap, I had forgotten how chunky that manual was. Like 60 freaking pages. This day and age, you're lucky if you get a manual that has anything to do with the game, let alone one at all. Last time I got a game that came with a manual for a newer game, there was none. There was just a sheet of paper that said, hey, here's how to insert it into thing. I guess that's just kind of the contention of gaming now. Game companies don't want people reading about the game in their manuals. They want people playing and reading about their game in the game itself. Which, okay, fine. But I still love it when a game company decides, hey, let's put a little bit more time and investment and paper into this. You know how clueless I would actually be about Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition if I wasn't reading the LD manual? Which I've gone on record saying that Baldur's Gate, you could play Advanced Dungeons & Dragons with the manual from Baldur's Gate alone, simply because it is that chock full of information. Like, I think even the Wild Surge table that Nira has is even in there, which is fan-freaking-tastic. Because I like wild magic, and I like random magical effects. Because I am cruel sometimes to my D&D players. Kind of saddened that there's no axes in this game now that I think about it. I mean, it's yet another animation, but at the same time, just one of those things. I like swords, but I love axes. You know what this is also doing for me? This is making it so as I don't ever need money for like the next 2 towns or so. Watch the prices be extraordinary when it comes to the next couple of towns. I think these guys have been worth, what, 5 gold? 4. Yeah, 4. Point being, I will be set for a while. And hopefully I'll also be set level-wise for a while. It's so weird, I don't know. Just thinking back to approximately an hour 20 minutes ago, when I had faced off against the vampire for the first time, in what feels like a long time, I could have sworn that the minimum level he needed to be in order to fight it and actually do damage to it was like level 4? Was either level 4 or level 7. And now that I'm playing again, and now that I'm level 7, I'm thinking to myself, how the hell did I level up that entire time, not face the vampire again, when I was more powerful, thinking, yeah, I can take him on now. Makes me feel like young me was stupid. Of course, then again, part of the title of young me is young, so stupidity is just kind of inherent. If anything, though, again, this'll make it so as future videos will be a little bit less grindy, at least for a little while. Because again, I think the max level is like 16. So if anything, this makes it so as I just cut down a little bit. Just the littlest a bit. Especially if I actually manage to get to level 8 by the end of this video. I mean, in theory, now that I've leveled up at least one more time, and I've got me feeling so free, I could go to the ice, the mountain over to the west, be all like, hey, eat fiery sword of flamey doom. I don't know why I switched back to doing that. Probably because I didn't want to risk it getting hit and having that happen. I haven't tried out telepathy yet, which is fine. Again, it's not like telepathy isn't all that important, but it does provide hints if you don't remember what it is that you have done so far or need to do. Like in this particular case, I'll probably... Oh wait, I could probably return to Zebu now. Right. Trying to think. Because Zebu had that ice cave behind him, and I can now blast that shit away with my fiery sword of flamey doom. I will never, ever, ever get over saying fiery sword of flaming doom. Don't even know why I started calling him that. Ow. Look at me, I'm a Mario. You know what's also weird? I'm thinking about it now. I'm thinking hard on it. And I have to say that while Legend of Zelda was... I think I played Legend of Zelda before I played Crystalis. Which, okay, fine. Legend of Zelda came out 87, this came out in 90. And I want to say that I kind of like this game more than I liked Legend of Zelda. Mostly, I don't know, maybe because there's more direction in this, and young me was stupid. And direction was kind of needed for young me. I think that's just kind of my life as a whole. I need a direction, and I don't have one. But no, God, I'm getting clumsy. I'm getting myself killed. But no, I don't know. It's one of those things that bleeds into any other games I play. Like, when I think of Terraria versus Minecraft. Yeah! When I think of, like, Terraria versus Minecraft, I prefer Terraria because there is a progression going on, whereas Minecraft is just like, well, go out there and do things. Like, okay, what things? Whatever you want. And then I'm just sitting there, thumb up my butt, because I don't know what I want to do. I know it's one of those sandbox games, just, oh, create your own goals, and I suck at creating my own goals. Anyways, we are now level 8, so I'm going to save before I inevitably die. And I'm going to go ahead and call an episode there. When we return, we're going to head west and try to climb up a mountain. It's going to be easier said than done, I assure you. So thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as I am, despite a 30-minute video that was nothing but grinding and my ranting. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care. Cheers.